Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beyond Boundaries with Lisa Richmond. I'm Lisa Richmond. This is Tarot Tuesday. We are going to dive into the cards and see what they have to say as per usual. But I do like to kind of tap in a little bit at the beginning and kind of bring through the energy that's flowing right now. And I actually had quite a message come through this morning. So essentially what my guidance team was talking about was that we are currently in an energy space of cleanup. And that might sound a little bit like, oh, are you serious? There's still more to clean up. But it's actually like clean up after all the stuff, right? So we've had the eclipse season, we've had all the retrogrades. Like we're moving in very quickly here. I think full moon here coming up on the 12th. All planets are going direct. And what that signifies is literally like a breath of fresh air. It's almost like the sun comes out a little bit, the clouds part. We are going with momentum forward. But the cleanup part is cleanup after all of the debris has been shedded. Okay, so we've gone through some of the biggest, probably in your lifetime, energetic upgrade. We're getting comfortable into a new timeline right now. And with that, we've had to release a whole bunch of stuff karmically through healing that has affected us physically, mentally, emotionally, our relationships, our perception, all of that. Right. And so now we are kind of like coming to, and then we're like, okay, now we can kind of clean up the rubble that has been left behind, but it's a joyous cleanup. It's like inspirational cleanup. Like I can sweep all of this out because I'm ready to embrace and enjoy the bright new space that I have created around me. And yes, that can come with this sense of like, it's not going to be perfect right away. It's gonna require you to kind of step forward in taking part in that cleanup so that you're not walking around the old debris, so to speak. Okay. So that's one of the energies in which they were talking about. And the second is like, trust. So we were kind of talking about, I had this like crazy download come through about faith. And I did like a bonus thing that I released on Sunday. So if you haven't seen that, go back and maybe watch that. But this is about like trusting now that we're in this new timeline, and the new timeline is designed by the heart space. It's the way in which we are led and we see and perceive is through heart energy, not head. Okay, so some of us are there, some of us are getting there, some of us are going there, some of us are helping others get there. Okay, so this is a heart-based reality. And so some of the stuff that we used to live by in that old kind of paradigm, in that old timeline, in that old consciousness of the mind and the head, some of that still has that energetic resonance around us that carries the old frequency of fear, victimhood. And I say that with love, but some of us might get into an unconscious patterning of fear from the victim mentality. And I'm here to say, like, when that comes up, try not to perceive it with judgment on self, but like an observation, like, oh my gosh, this fear voice of having, let's say, opportunity arises, okay? And like right down to something that could be perceived as like a negative effect. So all of a sudden you find out that your company is downsizing and you lost your position. Okay. So that's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. Like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? The instant kind of unconscious reaction would probably lean into fear and victimization. Like, I'm going to be screwed. I don't have, how am I going to support my family? And I got treated unfairly here and I'm the victim in this situation. Okay. So all of those can be legit. Like, I'm not saying that all of that isn't legit. Feel that, but know that the more that you can move that energy through you by acknowledging it And then observing, okay, I get where all of this fear comes from. I understand that the perception of this being fearful comes from a place of lack and like not having. And now I'm going to see how this is going to play out as a universal order for myself, as something that is happening for me for my greatest good, because I am being led in my true heart's desire. I'm being led in this new consciousness from heart space. And that's where the faith and the trust comes in. Because if we then continue on with the faith and the trust and the desire and the motion forward, actually taking action steps forward from that place, then we are led to situation, people, places, occurrences that are energetically aligned with faith, love, trust, and faith. Faith. I said faith twice. Faith, love, and trust. Okay? And heart. And that might be one of those things where you're like, yeah, that's really scary, Lisa. Like, good luck. Obviously, if somebody's going to lose their job and they're like, they're going to be in fear. Yes, but understand that that is an old paradigm reaction to an occurrence that is happening for you. So I'm telling you right now, especially in this big energy, if something comes along that actually that quickly changes your trajectory, that is the universe working in high speed for you. I promise. And the more that you can lean into being like, okay, that is something that came through to change the trajectory of my existence quite quickly. With it came a load of old energy. I'm going to feel it, transmute it, understand it, acknowledge it, and then I'm going to let it go. And I'm going to consciously open myself to the energetic frequency in which I want to feel. I want to feel freedom, safety, and security, and generate that in an elevated way in your body. You have the ability to generate emotions, feelings, thoughts within you by simply like creating them to exist. Then the actual cellular reaction to you feeling that sense of gratitude, faith, desire, excitement about walking into your life's existence in like the best possible way, your body actually changes its frequency in order to then go forward and seek by the universal law of like resonance, and then therefore you're going to attract like and like, right? And so the whole point of this is for you to understand that in the new paradigm, it doesn't mean that everything is going to happen according to what you put down on paper because of your perception. It's about actually trusting and having faith that when you go here first and align with your heart space, you are now in a timeline that allows you to connect with that same energetic frequency of your heart space. And that might mean that you are letting go of old connections, old beliefs, like actual interactions. And so that's going to bring it forward for you to say, how are you going to release this in an energetic way that is going to allow you to walk comfortably? And I don't think, like, as a human, we obviously come with an ego, which helps us stay safe, which then elicits this like unconscious state of fear of not doing something that is going to hurt you. But when the fear is generated from an old paradigm, an old belief, an old like program, it's up to us now, because we have the capability to reprogram our internal system, which then guides us to our like universal order of things right now in this new paradigm. If any of this is like, what are you talking about? Please put it in the comments and like, let's generate more conversation about this, okay? So this is like the message saying like, a lot of the big change and the big shakeups and all of that occurred, and it's like, the little remnants of it now. And by cleaning it up, we are creating open space in order for us to now walk into this new paradigm, in this new, it's here. Like it's here. It's not us anticipating it. It's here. But you have to be the one to take the reins and make it happen. And the universe is helping you by maybe disconnecting you from some of the things that's holding you back, like a job, like a relationship, like even like a place that you might be living that isn't in your greatest good. And by leaving it, you do step out into better things that you actually desire, but the fear of the change has been holding you back. Well, the universe might go, let's push you right out of here. And then really acknowledge, is my sense of victimhood, is my sense of fear, is my sense of like not knowing really taking over? Yeah, okay, observe it, feel it, talk to it, let it dissipate, and then clean it up so that you can open up to the new, like the wide open, cleared out room. Okay? Okay, now let's pull cards because that's essentially what we're here to do, right? Okay, so I'm going to use the wisdom of the oracle and see what enchanting gifts just pops right out. Number 27. So if 27 has any significance to you, or the number 9. All right, 7 plus 2 is 9, which is like wishes fulfilled, which is 9 is like getting to the end, really like the very last bit before the new cycle starts. And this is enchanting gifts. So I love this because this is like, she is like out of the box. And like we talk about stepping outside of the box, right? The old paradigm has that box. And in the channel that came through, these beautiful light beings actually talked about moving beyond the glass ceiling, right? And she's like popping right out of that old box, the old paradigm. And she has this like these new gifts. And part of that is honestly the gift of belief and faith, right? And I love this. I love this vision. And obviously I love the cat that's there because the cat's like, cats help us ascend, right? Connect with that higher level power. So, okay, we're going to look at that. Enchanting gifts. What other messages or themes does spirit want? Milk and honey. Hello. We got enchanting gifts and we got milk and honey. That means like there is cheese down this road. Keep following the path. Trusting in this new paradigm, when you pop right out of that box, when you step out of that glass ceiling and you're like, okay, here I am. I'm not staying within this box anymore. They have the rainbow energy. There's 51 is the number, so 6 is the number. And milk and honey, I mean, the land of milk and honey, we've talked about. That means like wishes fulfilled. Again, these are the manifestations that we've been holding in our mind's eye are now available. It is about clearing the path so that you can have this clear path to walk. The big walls, the towers, that has come down. Now it's time for you to trust that you can see. You can see the land of milk and honey. They want you to walk forward and not be held back by the fears of the old paradigm. The ego that's trying to keep you in that box. No, like she's out. She's out. That's pretty powerful. Anything else, Spirit? They keep showing me like a cat. Okay, unfinished symphony. This is number 10. And I feel like with this, that egg, and she's sitting right above the egg too, like ready to crack open. And with this, and I love that it's 10 because I was talking about like 10 being the end of the cycle, right? And this is like the unfinished symphony of all of the kind of karmic stuff that did come down. And the completion, there's lots of music notes here, and there's music notes on the first one too. And this is just about like, honestly, like finishing. This is finishing and that completion. And I love that. Okay, what else? he's saying about this. If you don't feel like you're quite in that sense of like milk and honey, like I've reached the other side and I'm now in my like full open cleaned up path of my new paradigm, understand that like we are all in different places on this, and just know that if you still are in the beginning stage of like really still shaking off the last of the bits, and you're in that kind of unfinished symphony, what are the relationships? What are the situations, jobs? They're really bringing up jobs a lot, actually. Um, Location, like something that you might be involved in that you know deep down isn't in alignment with you. And it's those last pieces. That's what we're talking about. They're talking about like education, the education system. If there's something that is like in disalignment with you there, and allowing yourself to be like, hey, I've always thought that I have to get this certification or I have to educate my children in this way, but I know deep down inside there's a better way. Follow that. Trust that the universe is going to help you and send you in the direction of this milk and honey. Okay? Okay, great. I'd like to get some tarot from the Good Tarot. What does our divine collective need to hear today? Messenger of Air, which is the Knight of Swords. That's coming in with like fierceness almost, but quickly, right? Like this isn't like they're saying like that a lot of the end, and the swords especially, like cutting away the old ties and old connections. If they're still holding on and you feel like a bit of that unfinished stuff, note that April is a cleanup month, or whenever you're watching this, the current state in which you're in is a cleanup month. And so the last of the things to be cleaned up is happening, and that's the sword energy. We've got the moon energy. This is a major arcana, which is holding some more punch to it. Also, what they're saying right here too is it's another 18. So I mean, it's another 9 number, so 18 or 9. But the cool thing is that on our full moon, which is on the 12th, it's just coming up, and we've already talked about this. That's like the same time that Venus goes direct, and Venus is the last planet to be in retrograde right now. And so it's like that happening. That's a lot of moon energy, and like kind of what is happening underneath the surface is a lot of the moon energy as well. But I really feel like in this, what they're specifically saying is use the energy of the moon to be able to really clean and cleanse and clear anything that is still in resonance of the old paradigm, that is connected to old fears, without judgment. They keep bringing up the judgment piece. Okay, so let's talk about this. They're saying try and acknowledge and see and observe consciously where you're still holding little bits of judgment for yourself or for others in their journey of ascension. So you can say, I've done this and this and this and this, but I'm still, smoking or whatever it might be. Try not to attach any of the last things that you're like finishing off in your cycle with judgment towards, because it actually makes it harder to release some of these old paradigms and these old bits from our energy system when they're attached to judgment. Same with like relationships or people and situations. If we're holding a really strong judgment towards something that is being done a certain way or not being done a certain way, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be more difficult to cut it away, to release any of the connections that we have to that energy or paradigm. So judgment, take a look at where you still have that judgment, because that judgment is also being held in the old paradigm. That is up here. It's not being here. And sometimes when we hold a really strong judgment in our mind, in our energy field, guess what way the universe allows us to clear that is by giving you the opportunity to experience that of what you're giving judgment to others, so that there can be born compassion, which comes from the heart center, in order to allow that judgment to dissipate. Okay, so if you don't want to feel it necessarily, maybe change the judgment into, if you can't go straight into compassion, just say, from this in which maybe I don't understand fully, and observingly hold a judgment towards it, I'm going to release my connection to it. Because you got to be connected into it to have a judgment in the first place. Use that sword, disconnect that connection from that attachment to the judgment, and allow it to dissipate, allow it to kind of float away, reconnect yourself into the highest consciousness, your timeline of the heart space, and send it with love, so that you're not connected to it anymore. Okay, that's a specific message for somebody. Okay, just like in your practice of gratitude, also take a look to where there's connections to judgment. There's a freedom there for you guys. And then the 8 of Earth. I love this. This is another, I keep seeing music notes, and there's like a connection to music. So right here is the cello, which the cello, oh my God, that holds so much energetic frequency. The sound of the cello actually holds a frequency of like really high vibration. I love that. Okay, so the 8 of Earth is the 8 of Pentacles, and what that is about hard work. It's about hard work in a way of like gratifying, of like when we talk about doing what you truly love to the very best of your ability, to the greatest extent that you can, without attachment to the outcome, in the words of Bashar. This is kind of the energy of that, is like when you actually commit to something that means something to you, that is the new timeline consciousness. So maybe getting the unattachment to losing a job or a position or friendship, or like if you've been interviewing and you didn't get the job, it's like that's the universe pushing you towards the 8 of Pentacles, meaning really connect into what lights you up the most right now. And it might not be a position of finances. It might be something that is going to lead you into far more abundance, because it is your turn to like commit to the thing that actually lights you up. Okay? Woo! That came with an energetic punch. Okay, I'm going to go into Rebecca Campbell's Healing Waters. Any healing messages for the collective today? Ooh, water holds such a clearing. We're talking about clearing. We're talking about healing. I did have Spirit come through a few times talking about the importance of water and the healing properties of water. And I feel like that is going to be really helpful when we're clearing our energy right now. So I'm just getting like a really piercing right brain hit right now. Just hold on a second. What is this? Okay. They want me to go back to the energy of unfinished symphony within. There's a piano there and music notes, enchanted gifts, and the 8 of Earth, which is a cello. They're wanting me to talk about connecting to our musical gifts or our creative abilities. So you might be like, I don't play any musical instruments. We all have creative gifts. And they're saying to align in the frequency of this timeline and get comfortable there. Do more of the things that light you up in a creative way. So if you make music in any capacity, I don't care. I'm not saying like make it to make money. I'm saying play the instrument to hear the sound. I'm saying paint the picture without any intention of anybody seeing it or it having to look a certain way. Try the new medium. Try the pastels. Use your paints. Put on the music and do the paint work in a different way. Use food in a creative way. Design your room or your space in that creative way so that your space can reflect back to you how you feel in that creative energy. Okay, so they're wanting me to like really stop the entire reading to focus on the right brain, which is they really want for you to like hear that it's time for you to like spend some time growing your trust in yourself, in your creative gifts. Because underlying under the surface, that those creative gifts are actually creating far more like a life force energy for your like future than you realize. And that is going from head to heart. Because in your head in the past, you're like, well, I'm not going to make millions by playing my piano. I'm not a concert pianist. Okay, but they're saying the energy generated from you taking part in your creative expression is what bursts the shell that is holding you in, bursts the top off the box in order for you to be able to fully expand in your creative energy, which ignites the fire within, which is your authentic part. And it's that creates that magnet energy to pull in the things that align with that frequency. These are your creative gifts. I do not care what they are. I do not care how good or not good. All of that is up here. It's when you're doing it in that creation is what illuminates your ability to connect with your highest and greatest good. That's when like the spout where all the good things come out is. Okay? So how you start making your money through randomly doing creative things, that's not up to you. That's the universe is going to help you do that. The more that you trust and the more that you're in that energy, okay? Stop thinking about how that creative thing is going to make you the money. Stop that. That's this. That's old. Big message. Okay. Do we need the healing waters? Drink more water, go swimming. Cleansing. Releasing the old, energetic tune-up and new beginnings. Bam! I love that when spirit is just like, let's just like triple stamp the double stamp on this one. Okay? You're cleansing. You're cleansing all the old. You're cleaning the old pipes. You're releasing the old. Okay? Ah, that's just such an amazing one. Okay, and then we're going to pull in a spirit animal at the end here because who doesn't need a little animal energy, right? More animal energy. They keep talking about spring as well. And so a part of your creative expression can be like getting outside and actually legitimately planting seeds. And even if you're like, I'm not a gardener, I don't care. Like, get some soil, just like turn it up a little bit, plant some seeds, give some fertilizer, spread some eggshells in there. Okay, here's a little tip. If you're not a gardener at all and you want to just like have like a little like maybe cedar box and just see what happens, get some soil in there. You can get some like mushroom fertilizer, do it up, plant some seeds, and then to make your own little like fertilizer, get like a blender and blend in banana peels, eggshells, and coffee grinds, those three. Add a bunch of water so that it's liquidy. Grind it up till it's like a rank mess in your blender. You can take the tops and the bottom off your banana peel so it doesn't mess with your grater. And then take that and then pour that into your soil, and it is really good. And that is like from scratch, anybody can do it. Okay? Gardening tips from Lisa Richmond. Oh, what do we got? Badger spirit, number 4, be fearless and bold. That's like enchanting gifts. Be fearless and bold. Badger. Honey badger don't care. Have you guys ever seen that? The honey badger don't care. Badgers are pretty fierce. right? But they're so cute, but they're fairs, right? And fours have been all over the place. We're in the fourth month right now. We just went through the 4-4 portal. If you've been seeing fours a ton, this is a validation, the entire reading. There's a validator. Be fearless and bold. Be fearless and bold, you guys, to step in. Unwavering trust in the universal guidance in this new timeline. Your guides, your angelic team, everything is saying, go, trust. Okay. Bam. And I got one more. Dragonfly spirit number 22. And 2 plus 2 is 4. There's another 4 twos if twos are coming up. And if you guys have seen dragonflies, I have a feeling that this, because spirit's like, we got to pull one more. If you guys have been seeing dragonflies and just needed that like little push of like validation in your synchronicities, there it is, because I know the dragonfly is someone's confirmation and their spirit connection, and maybe twos as well. And so this is truth transcends illusion. Truth transcends illusion. Truth is your heart frequency timeline. Truth, trust, faith, truth, alignment. Illusion, old, fear, mind, thought, restriction. Truth transcends illusion. Bam. There's your dragonfly. That's what I got for you. I really loved that reading. It was super strong. And all the beginning energies really like coincided with all the cards. So thanks so much for tuning in, for showing up every week. Let's build this channel. Like, share, subscribe if not already. I love doing this. This is like Beyond Boundaries has become one of my very favorite things in the entire world, because it feels like I can show up unapologetically me and I connect into you guys, and that's like the best gift ever in the whole wide world. So I love it and I'm very grateful. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, head to my website at lisarichmond.ca. I have a ton of options. Reach out with my email and we can like work something out. And also I do have spots available at avalonspirit.com. Avalon Spirit is a company run by a glorious, beautiful friend of mine. And I offer readings through that website as well. So I love you very, very much. And I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for showing up today. And again, comment below anything that came up for you, any validators, synchronicities, questions, anything. Let's generate some more conversation. And to any of you that needed this as that extra hit to go forward, as that confirmation, whatever landed with you, to confirm your like absolute faith in yourself and your journey, bam, like own it. Let's do this thing. Okay, I love you so much. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Love you all. Bye, guys.